Welcome to FPC Security, the cool way to shop for security. We take great pride in being able to provide great videos for our customers. We do this to ensure that our tech support is the best in all aspects. In order to keep providing you quality install videos of our products, please do us the favor of subscribing to our YouTube channel and click on the bell symbol to receive the latest updates from the channel of FPC Security, the cool way to shop for security. If there is some information missing in this video, please feel free to contact us at 1-888-504-3318 or by visiting our website at www.fpc-security.com. We are open from Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We are always intrigued on what our customers have to say. Feel free to leave a comment below in the comment section. FPC is proud to announce our access control with software kits, installation, and program video. For proper installation, you need to have on hand the diagram that came with your kit. Please make sure that you have the user manual for the controller box and the manual for the software. If the CD is not included in the package, you will find a piece of paper that was included in the plastic bag of the controller box, which will give you instructions on how to get the manuals and software. Please keep in mind that this software is only compatible with Microsoft-based computers. If for whatever reason you also did not receive the piece of paper, please follow the instructions on the screen. In order to download all this information, please visit our website, which is visionistech.com, which is visionistech.com. Number one, if you purchased the two-door controller, please go to this link. Here you will find how to download the user manual, data sheets, anything you need, right here. Now if you purchased the four-door controller, just click on the four-door controller on the Visionis website. And you will also find all the manuals that you need there. Now to download the software, go to support, go to download software, as we can see here. And here you can download the software, any firmware updates, and the manual for the software as well. Warning, please read this carefully before installing this kit. If you need to pause the video to take a look at all the elements here, please do so. This part is very important before you install this kit. In this section, you will see all the common applications for these devices. In this section, you will see all the tools needed to install your system. Now what we want to do is put these products and put them on a workbench before you actually install this on your doors. It's important to do this because it allows you to get familiar with the units first. How to reset the controller. If you do not need to know how to do this for now, please skip this step and continue to the following step. In order to reset the control panel for any reason, we must disconnect the panel from the outlet. The panel should not be connected to the outlet. Now we are going to get a pair of pliers and take out the black jumper from the panel's PCB board and move it to the last jumper, as you can see in this video. Now we will get the power cord from the control panel and connect it once again to the power outlet. Now you will hear a very long beep that will last for a couple of seconds, minute max. When the long beep has finished beeping, go ahead and once again unplug the power cord from the power outlet. Now we will grab the pair of pliers again and put the black jumper of the PCB board back to its original position. Last step will be to plug in once again the power cord to the power outlet. And now you have completed the resetting of your access control panel. Remember, this is only done if necessary. How to wire the readers to the controller box. Attention! In this step, I will show you on how to connect only one reader. If you have more than one reader, just follow this step exactly the same way. For these steps, it is very important that you follow the diagram on the door of the controller box. We are going to give you instructions just to make sure that you are wiring it correctly. So terminal 1 is for door entry number 1. Terminal 2 is for door exit number 1. This one is only used if you are planning to install a reader for exit purposes instead of an exit button. The connection will remain the same as terminal 1. If you don't have a reader for the exit, then disregard this, as you will leave the terminal without any connections. Keep in mind that the second green terminal block of each door will be to connect an exit reader. The third terminal block is the second door entry. Here is where you will put the second reader. The fourth terminal block is for the second door exit. Okay, so let's begin by grabbing your reader, and we are using the first green terminal located on the left-hand corner of the controller. To ensure that you have the controller on the right side, you should also see a LAN connector on the top of the first green terminal block. That indicates that you have located the correct terminal. Now we are going to connect the brown wire from the reader to the OK terminal on the controller box, which happens to be the first terminal from left to right. Okay, let's grab the yellow wire from the reader and connect it to the BZ terminal of the controller box. This is the third terminal from left to right. Now we're going to get the white wire from the reader and connect it to the W1 terminal on the controller box, which will be number 4 terminal from left to right. Grab the green wire from the reader and connect it to the WO terminal of the controller box, which is terminal number 5 from left to right. Let's get the black wire from the reader and connect it to the GND terminal of the controller box, which happens to be the 7th terminal from left to right. Grab the red wire from the reader and connect it to the PWR terminal of the controller box, which happens to be terminal number 6 from left to right. How to wire the exit button to the controller box. Here I will show you how to wire the exit button. We will show you how to wire one of them by using the terminal block on the right hand side of the controller box labeled door number 1. Please make sure you use this terminal for the exit button that corresponds to door number 1. We will just show you how to connect one exit button. However, you will connect all other exit buttons to their corresponding door terminals the same way. We're going to grab the white wire from the exit button and connect it to the button terminal, which is the 4th terminal from right to left. Take the green wire from the exit button and connect it to the GND terminal of the controller, which is terminal number 5 from right to left. Let's keep this terminal a little open so we can connect another wire. Let's get a piece of wire and connect one end of it to the black wire from the exit button. And the other end of that wire will be connected to the GND terminal, which is terminal number 5 from right to left. Okay, so now we will get another piece of wire and connect one end to the group of wires that we did on the previous step, which is the wire that is connected to the black wire of the exit button. And the other end of the wire will be connected to the negative V terminal on the power supply that is tucked in underneath the PCB board. Now we are going to get the red positive cable from the exit button and connect it to the plus V terminal of the power supply of the controller box, which is tucked in underneath the PCB board. Now we will get a piece of wire and get one end of it and connect it to the COM terminal, which is number 2 from right to left. And the other end will go into the GND terminal, which is terminal number 5 from right to left. Keep in mind that at the end you will have 3 cables connected into the GND terminal. How to wire the MAGLOCKS to the controller box. For starters, we will use the positive red wire and the negative black wire from the MAGLOCK. We will also be using the terminal block that we used for the exit button, which is door number 1 terminal, which is located on the right-hand side of the panel. Keep in mind that we will show you how to connect one MAGLOCK, but the connection remains the same for the other doors and terminals. Let's grab the negative black wire from the MAGLOCK and connect it to the NC terminal of the controller box, which happens to be terminal number 1 from right to left. Don't forget this is door number 1 terminal on the bottom right of the controller box. Get the positive red wire from the MAGLOCK and connect it to the plus V of the power supply that is underneath the PCB board. Now we have to open the cap from the MAGLOCK, so go ahead and get a Phillips screwdriver and unscrew the cap. The purpose of this step is so the lock can properly communicate the open or closed status of the lock to the software. Now we will get a piece of wire and connect one end to the normally open or NO of the MAGLOCK, which is terminal number 3 from left to right. The other piece of wire will be connected to the sensor terminal of the controller, which will be terminal 6 from right to left. Now let's get another piece of wire, but this time a very small piece, and we are going to do a wire bridge. So let's get one end of the wire and connect it to the common or COM terminal of the MAGLOCK, which happens to be terminal 5 from left to right. The other end of the cable will be connected to the negative terminal of the MAGLOCK, which is terminal 2 from left to right. Now we will go ahead and put the cap back on and make sure all your wires are connected as tight as possible. Connecting the power and LAN connection to the controller. Before we begin, please make sure you have secured your connections with some type of beanie connectors or black electrical tape. Now, just temporarily, we will need to unwire the yellow cable from the reader to the controller. If this step is not completed, when you turn on your controller, you will hear a long beep that will not go away. So please make sure this step is completed before plugging in the power supply. Later in the video, we will show you on what to configure so you can plug the yellow wire back into the controller box. Now we will go ahead and show you how to plug in the power cord to the controller box. Now go ahead and plug it into an outlet. We will soon be able to provide a battery backup, but we don't currently sell one at the moment. Please ask one of our reps if we have one available, that we plan to have one soon. If not, then no problem. All you have to do is buy one of those UPS devices that are used for battery backup on computers. Here I will show you an example of what it looks like. We will now connect the controller box to your router. Please keep in mind that the controller box does not include a LAN cable. Please go ahead and grab one end of the LAN cable and connect it to the LAN port on the panel that is located on the top left-hand side of the panel, and the other end to your router. Okay, now you should see some lights on the panel, exit button, and reader. Let's keep everything on. In the next step, we can go ahead and configure everything in the software. Installing the Vsaxess software on your PC. Attention! We are now going to install this in a computer that has the Microsoft Windows 10 operating system, but this can be installed in a computer that has Windows 7 or 8 or higher. Attention! This access control system is not compatible with Mac computers. Now, if you misplaced your software CD or it did not come with it included in the package, please go ahead and go to our website to download the software. We saw this issue in the beginning of the video, but I'll be more specific here. So we're going to go to www.visionistech.com. That's visionistech.com. Then go ahead and hover over the support category and click on the sub-menu titled Vsaxess Desktop Software. Then click on Download Software. Keep in mind that the download process can take from 6 to 10 minutes. Also, in the same page, you can download the manual for the software. Okay, now we're going to find the folder of Vsaxess software in the download folder on your PC. And maybe a screen pops up to unzip it. So we're going to double click it. We're going to wait for the files to extract. Now we're going to go ahead and double click it again so you have the Install Shield wizard opening. Then we're going to go ahead and click on Next. Make sure that the client box is checkmarked and click Next. Then Install. This can take about a minute or two, so just please be patient. Now we're going to click Next. Please click Next again. Now we're going to check mark this box. You agree with the terms. And click Next. Now click Next and then Install. This can also take a couple seconds. Now press Finish. Click on Finish again. Exit out of the zip file. And that's it. Now that we have done that, make sure that you have your controller box turned on and that you have connected the controller box to your router via LAN network connection. If this is not done, the next step will not work. So now we're going to double click on the Vsaxess icon on your desktop, and you'll see a another pop-up window come up. So I want you to put there, for example purposes, we're going to put as a user admin, all lowercase, and the password's going to be admin123 with a capital A. Now keep in mind this is just for sample purposes, but you can do whatever you like here. You can put in whatever username or password you like. This is going to be your username and password. But for example purposes, that's the one that we put up there. So now that we're in the desktop software, you're going to go to device management, and on the bottom you're going to see the device. How to add another user. Okay, so here we're going to go to Tools, and we're going to go to Account Management, and we're going to go to Add a User. So here you can select if it's an administrator or operator. So for testing purposes, I'll put operator. You put the username of the person. So for example purposes, I'll put Mike. Create a password for the person. Then we'll do admin123 with capital A, just as for test purposes. Then we're going to go to select, copy to blank. We're going to leave that blank for now. Then we're going to scroll down here until we see the access control module permission. So here on the right hand side you can select what you want to give them access to or not and press save. So that completes that. You'll see that I have a user Mike and admin there. How to sync your controller to the software. Now we're going to go to device management. We're going to go to the online device section, select the controller, click active. Then we're going to put in the password that we put in the beginning, which is admin with a capitalized A123. So that's admin123 with a capitalized A, and press OK. Now you'll see a black box there on the right hand corner saying that it's active. Press modify network info, modify net info. Now you're going to have to look up your network's IP segments, and you can find it by going to the open network, go to the Wi-Fi settings there, go to details. You'll see there your IP address, your subnet mask, default gateway. So on the IP address, you want to pick one that's available. We're going to exit out of there, exit out of there. Now, for testing purposes, I will put our IP address, which is 192.168.1.150. The subnet mask is the same. The gateway is 192.168.1.1. And the password will be admin with capitalized A123 and press OK. And you'll see that the black box came up there showing the network parameters completed. Keep in mind that this is just a sample of how it's done. Each computer is different, each router is different. So make sure that you check with your IT department if you have one, or with your internet provider to see how you can get your IP address. All right, so now let's make sure that we select the device. We're going to press add to client. Now we're going to put a nickname there. You should put a company's name or whatever you would like. For test purposes, we're going to put FPC test. Okay, so the IP address is the same, the port stays the same, the username is admin, the password is admin, capital A123, then press OK. So right here on the device for management screen, we're going to see that the device is already there. And we'll look at the net status, and we'll see that it imported succeeded. So we'll see that the security is strong, and that everything is good to go. So if you don't see that the security is strong, refresh or try to modify the network parameters again to see what happens. How to configure the doors of the controller. Now what we want to do is plug in the yellow wire from the reader that we took out in the previous step. Remember that this goes in the BZ terminal of the controller of the first door. But before we do, let's go to the software. Okay, go to the control panel section and click Access Control tab. Now you will see a screen called Select Scene. Select non-resident or resident. For this application, we will go ahead and select non-resident and press OK. Alright, so now we want to go to the gear symbol. That's the advanced functions. We want to select the company name on the far left. We want to press the plus sign on door number 1 and select card reader number 1. Okay, so now we're going to go to buzzer polarity and press on cathode. Then we're going to press save. Alright, so now what we're going to do at the same time is we're going to go back to the panel and we're going to get the yellow wire from the reader and we're going to put it into the BZ section of the terminal. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to create a nickname for this door. You can create any type of nickname you like. For example purposes, we're going to create the name of main door Visionis. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to make sure that the enable card reader is under yes. Now we want to change the OK LED polarity to cathode. We also want to change the error LED polarity to cathode as well. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to go to the minimum card swiping field. And here we're going to leave at 0, and we're also going to leave the max interval when inputting password at 10. And everything also stays the same. You put no here, you'll leave it at 5 there. Leave no there, put 0 there, and save. Okay, so here now I will show you how to set up a unique delay time to the door. The default time delay is 5 seconds. Okay, so let's go ahead and set it to 15 seconds and press save. So what we did here was we set a delay for the door. So it normally has a delay of about 5 seconds and we put it to 15 seconds. So that means that the time that the user passes the card, the door will stay open for 15 seconds. So you can put this up to how many seconds you would like. I'm just showing you on how you can do it if you're not happy with the 5-second default from the software. How to create a group, company, and user. Okay, so now let's make sure we go to the network icon that it's on the left-hand side, that it's titled person and card. Then we're going to press add. Okay, so now what we want to do is we're going to get prompted of an add organization box and we're going to put, for example purposes, the name Visionis and press OK. You can put whatever you want there. Alright, so now we want to make sure we select the company name on the left hand side and then we're going to press this add button here. And right here on the person number, you can have any type of number that you like here. The automatic one is going to be 1 by default and then the next is going to be 2, 3 and so forth. But you can start it off at 53 or at 100, whatever you'd like. Okay, so now what we do here is we have to make sure we're in the add person window. Okay, and the only fields that you have to put in are the ones with the asterisk red symbols. So it would be person number, person name, and gender, as you can see there. You'll also see that you can put in the phone number if you'd like, date of birth, place of birth, email. You can upload a picture if you want with your computer, if you have one there saved on your files. You can select the type of ID that you want here. So you can put in as much information as you want about the user, but you only have 3 mandatory fields that you must put in. Okay, so for example purposes, we're going to select ID type as ID, and we're going to type in an ID number, which is 2555. And here it's a linked device. You can leave that clear. Room number, if you have one there. Address, the remarks. So in the job title section, we're going to put sales, just for example purposes. Okay, so here we're going to go ahead and put the onboard date. So this means that, the date that the person started. Employee duration, the 10 represents 10 years, so you can put it lower, you can put it more, whatever you like. Then on the remarks section, you can put any comments, room number, address, whatever you. Okay, so now we're going to go to the card tab. We're going to hit add. All right, so in this section, you'll see the card type, which you can check any one that you want. For testing purposes, we're going to go ahead and select normal card there. All right, so what we want to do here is that if you have a keypad, you want to put it also with a password, and you would put the password here. So since you don't have a keypad, you won't put the password here. Okay, so here what we're going to do is we're going to put the effective period. So if you have an effective period in mind, you can put it from the current date to whatever date that you want. It's default by 10 years. All right, so now we're going to go ahead to the access control tab there and go to the drop down and select door number 1. We're going to add the plus sign there. Then we're going to select the main door. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to press read. Okay, and we're going to pass the card on the card reader so it can read it. All right, now we see that we added the card. Now we're going to press OK. All right, so now we completed that task and we're going to press OK. Now you see that the person has been added. So we added the person and the card successfully. Configuring permissions for the users. Now click on the clipboard symbol, which is title, schedule, and template, and then press add week. Now we're going to go ahead and put a week schedule name. So for example purposes, I'm putting 8 to 5. Then I press OK. Then I can put any comments I would like on the remark section. Okay, so the purpose of this is to, for example, if you have an employee that you only want him to access a certain door from 8 to 5, let's say, this is where I show you how to do it. So now what you're going to do is that you're going to, with your mouse, you're going to highlight from 8 to 5, which is about 16 and a half, around there, or whatever time you want. This is just for example purposes. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to select the blue bar, press copy to. You see that it copied to every single day of the week here. So what we want to do is, just for example purposes, we want to delete Saturday, delete Sunday, and then press save. Now we see that it's completed. So now what we want to do is go to Tools, select Batch Time Sync, okay. Select your device, and press OK. And here we'll see that it's been completed. Okay, so now let's go to the badge symbol on the left-hand side, which is the permissions. Click on that. Okay, so now we press add again. We're going to select the permission name. So here you can put whatever name you want. It's just the name of the permissions. So for test purposes, I'm going to put 8 to 5 weekday. Again, you can put whatever you like there. So this step has to be done in order to give the permissions to the users for the doors. So here we're going to press add template. We're going to select the 8 to 5 template that we did in the previous step that has all the dates there and the times. You can put anything you want there in the remark. In the template name, we're going to put normal. Okay, so after you do that, you press OK. It's saved. Alright, so now you want to go to add a template. Let's create a name, 8 to 5. Go to week schedule 8 to 5. Then we're going to create a name that says 8 to 5. XX, for example. Again, you can name whatever you want. I'm going to press OK. See, it's completed on the right-hand side. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to select the company name on the left-hand side. We want to press the plus sign. We want to select the employee there. For this purpose, only Paul is there. And we go to the plus sign and we add them to the other section, which is the selected person. All right, so now what we want to do is that we want to check mark the FPC test, which is under the access control point device section. We want to select the doors that we're going to include there, and we'll add the more sign so it can go to the other side, which is on the select access control product point. And we select OK. Okay, now what we want to do is select the device. Make sure you select the device, and then apply to device. And then you'll see that everything was applied perfectly. Click close. All right, so now we're going to go to the control panel. We're going to click on status monitor. And we're going to go to the card swiping record. We're going to show you there so you can pass the card to the reader, and you'll see there in real time on what's going on with the door. Okay, so now what we're going to show you is how to open the door from the software itself. So here we go. So we're going to click on door status. We're going to make sure that we select our company name on the left hand side, and then select the door in question and put open door. So on the bottom of the screen you'll see that the door is open, and you'll also see a symbol that says it's open, as you can see there. Here you will see that it did open. Alright, so now what I'm going to show you is how to close the door from the software. So simply select the door, select close door, and you'll see there that the door is completely shut, so no one can enter if they have a card or not. The door is going to be completely shut at this point. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want the lockdown feature, which means that certain doors can be locked at all times if you need to, or all of them. So that's up to you. So we're going to go to the remain closed section here. So let's go ahead and select the door and press remain closed. So here you're going to see that the door is closed. It doesn't matter if someone has access to it or not, but if you put the remain closed feature, it will stay closed no matter if they have access or not. Okay, so let's say that you want certain doors open manually at one given point or the other. We're going to go and press the remain open feature. That means that anybody can enter the door, will be 100% open. Doesn't matter if you have a card or not. So let's press remain open and select the door. And as you can see on the video on the bottom, it shows you that the door is open, and it will remain open until you close it. So this is a manual feature. All right, so now we're going to teach you how to set up certain doors if you want it to be open at certain times or close at certain times. So let's press on status duration. Let's press on the left-hand side the company name. And we're going to select the door that we want this feature. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to give you the example of, let's say the door remains open for certain amounts of times, or you can do the remain closed too. So for example, we selected the remain open, and we're going to select the times. So just for example purpose, it's going to be from 8 to 10. Okay, then you would select the blue bar and you would say copy to whole week. Then we can go ahead and select the days of the week that you want to delete. So select it and then press delete duration. And then let's go ahead and click Save. And you'll see that all the changes have saved there in that black box. Explaining the different functions on the door or reader. All right, so now we're going to go to Access Control tab. We're going to go to the Advanced Functions, which is the gear symbol. Then we're going to make sure that we select the company, the door, reader number 1. Then we go to card authentication. And what this does is simply that we're telling the system that we want to select a certain function for the reader, so we only want it to read by card. Then we copy it, and then we copy to week on all the different weeks, and we press save. You can do this if you have a keypad, you press card and password, or card or password, whatever you'd like. Okay, now we're going to look at the multiple authentication tab. This tab will allow you to set up many users to open a door. For example, if you have a bank and there is a room that you do not want to have one person to be able to open the door by themselves, and want to have, example, 2 people to open the door at the same time, you will enable this feature and I will show you how to do it. If you do not have a need for this, please skip this section. All right, so now we want to go to the Add button. Then we want to put a card group name there. So just for example purposes, I'm going to put FPC1. Then I'm going to select Paul. Press OK. All right, so now we're going to add another group. So we'll press Add again. This time we're going to call this group FPC2. Then we're going to select the user Mike and press OK. All right, now we're going to go to Set Authentication Group and we're going to press Add. All right, so the access control point, the time internal, the template, the authentication type, you can leave it just the way it's there. All right, now what you want to do is you want to select FPC1 and you want to hit the plus sign so it goes on the other screen. FPC2, hit the plus sign. All right, now what we're going to do is that we're going to select FPC1 on the right-hand side and we're going to put in 1, and FPC2 we're going to put 1, 2. We're going to press OK. And then we're going to press Save. Now we see that it's been saving succeeded. Okay, so here we're going to show you an example how it works. So if I pass Paul's card, it won't unlock. Now if I pass Mike's card, it's going to unlock. So first Paul, then Mike, but you need both of them in order to open the door or unlock the door. Now we will explain the open door with first card feature, which also is located on the gear symbol, which is the advanced function. This feature works in the following way. Let's say that you have an employee that works in a warehouse. Let's say, for example purposes, the person's name is Paul. Since Paul works in the warehouse, he needs to be constantly coming in and out of the warehouse door because he is constantly bringing in packages. So as you can note, that in this situation, it can be a tedious task for the person to have to present his card every time he needs to bring in a package to the warehouse or take one out. If you do not need this feature, please skip to the next section. So what this feature will allow you to do is set up a delay on the user so he does not have to pass the card through the reader every time he wants to come in. You can put it up to 999 minutes, 999 minutes. But in most cases, with 10 minutes, you should have enough. All right, so for testing purpose, what we're going to do is we're going to select the company. and you'll see the amount of doors there. We're going to select door number 1 for sample purposes. All right, so now for testing purposes, we're going to put 1 that represents 1 minute. Okay, so now we're going to press add, and we're going to select the user, press OK. You'll see here that it's configured properly, and then we're going to press save. All right, so now I'm going to show you how this works. So if we pass Paul's card, okay, you'll see that the door opens, okay, and it's going to remain open for the next minute or so. So we'll show you here, the red light is still on. So we're taking a little longer here than usual because I want to show you exactly how it works. So here we'll see that we put the plate back on, but the door is still open. All right, so right now you'll see that the light turned off and the maglock is locked, as you can see. How to view activity in real time and how to generate report activity. All right, so now we're going to control panel. We go to status monitor. We're going to go to the card swiping record. Okay. So here, every time you swipe a card, you'll be able to see the real-time activity. On the bottom screen, you'll also be able to see more detail. Here you're able to see time. On the bottom, you're able to see a lot more detail. You know, normally open door, the alarm content, the alarm details, the alarm source. Very extensive, what you can see. So here I'm going to teach you how to look for the report. So click on the paper with the loop symbol on the left-hand side. And here we can do almost anything. I'm just going to give you an example. We're going to select the user mic. We're going to set a specific date. And we want to hit search. And we'll see all the activity of that user. Again, you can do whatever you want. Just look at the columns there and you'll see what you want to choose. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to export it. So we press export. Okay, I'm going to save it in the desktop for example purposes. Okay, I'm going to save it test. It's a CSV Excel file. We're going to press save. We see that exported has been completed. Now we're going to go to the desktop. We're going to click on the file there. And here you go. We've exported all the information that you have there. And you're good to go. Okay, that's the end of our video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch us. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Thank you.